is introduce yourself, who you are, and what you do.
My name is Justin. Most people know me as Justo. I'm a producer in a group called The Physics, Seattle-based group. I'm also a recording engineer by day. Traditionally, my day job is in science. That's a big part of me as well. From Seattle, South Seattle to be specific. And I love music and people.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. So you guys just put out the single.
Yeah.
How about you? How was that?
Cool, man. I mean, we've been working on it for a while, and we've actually had that song for almost a year at this point. Working on a video for it today, but yeah, we put it out as kind of like a build up towards a project that we haven't announced yet, but will be coming soon, early summer. Maybe an EP or something like that, or close to a full length album. We're kind of working on it right now and figuring it out. Yeah.
That's dope. It is a great song, by the way.
Thank you.
I like it a lot. It surprised me when I seen it. I seen the link up for it.
Oh, nice.
I was like, oh, this is dope.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. I always wanted to know, man, because you do a lot of stuff behind the boards. You know, like what your creative process is going into you. Not, I don't want to say just making a beat, you know what I'm saying, but like when you're putting together music, like how do you approach it?
Well, you know, I always just try to go with whatever feels good, whatever inspires, and whatever sounds like beautiful to me or whatever, you know, like it's all subjective, but I go off of feeling, you know. There's a lot of technical stuff that you learn throughout the, you know, and you probably know, you know, dealing with film, it's similar. You learn a lot of the technical aspects, but that's really just to achieve your creative texture and outlook that you're trying to portray, right? I mean, so yeah, it's all based around feeling. So like one of the techniques that I tend to employ a lot is putting songs away and not listening to the song. So like we'll make a song or I'll make a beat. In both scenarios, I'll try to like not listen to that song or beat for as long as I possibly can. Couple weeks at least, maybe a couple months, and even like a couple years would be really dope.
Right.
The reason why that is because I'm trying to figure out the overall feeling that people are gonna get and garner when they listen to the music, right? And just the average person that listens to music that doesn't know what the technicalities are, like a kick drum or a snare or a hi-hat. I think so often when we're making music or art in general, we zoom into things, we get really close up on our beat that we're making or on our song.
Right.
And when you're working on it for 5 hours, you start hearing things that no one else hears. Like, oh, I really like that. I see cats who come in with beats and like, oh, I really love my hi-hat. And I'm thinking like, well, you know, most people don't really know even what a hi-hat is. And they're not even listening to music in that way, most people.
Right.
They're hearing it as just a whole. So I feel like when you can zoom out, give it some space, let it breathe, and then listen to it, you're kind of hearing it from the perspective that a lot of other people would hear, first hearing the beat right off top,
right,
instead of spending 2 days with it and then, you know.
And then that's it.
Right.
Okay.
So, and that's hard to do because as artists and as musicians, like people want to like admire their work, and you know, you make a song and you spend all day on it, you want to go get the CD, put it in your car and bump it. So it's a kind of ego thing that you have to battle with and be like, okay, I'm not going to force myself not to listen to this. But anyway, I just think it gives you a good perspective. You can kind of zoom out on things and get a more clear perspective than when you're like right here on it, you know. And that's like with anything. If you zoomed in on your hand really, really close, I mean, you know, your hand, it's been in your hand for your whole life. If you zoomed up really close and someone showed you a picture and they say, "What is that?" You say, "I have no idea what the hell that is."
Right.
You know, but you zoom back and you get a bigger perspective.
It's like it's a hand.
It's my hand, you know.
Right.
So yeah, so I think perspective is a big thing, and it's all about feeling, you know. It's not about technicalities. It's about what do you feel when you see a video or when you hear a piece of music, listen to some lyrics. How does it make you feel? Because that's what music is supposed to do, is make you feel something.
Right. So you did Day of School Days project. Really dope project, by the way.
Thank
Great
you.
production. It was one of my favorite projects
Really?
last year.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Appreciate
definitely. And I think that a lot of people now are starting to like focus on like, you know, single producer projects, you know, like smaller EPs and stuff like that. One, how did that come about? And two, how do you feel about doing projects with just one artist?
So the way that came about, the Day School Days album was, I started to record Dave in the studio and kind of mix some of his songs and was just kind of helping like mentor some of the stuff he was doing. I've always respected him as an artist. He's really dope, you know, dope rapper, super good musician. He has a great ear. So we started working together like mix wise, and I was mixing some of his songs. And then I just started giving him beats, and I just happened to have a bunch of beats that were left over from our digital wildlife project that me and Thig did.
Which he was on. He was on.
Yeah. I met Dave way back through my homies who have a studio in Skyway. Mike Daniels and KD, Kyle Daniels.
I know exactly what I said.
Yeah. So those are my homies, and I would go over there, and I remember being in the studio and them playing Beat Dave. And so anyway, that's how we linked up. So we started doing our stuff in the studio, and then gave him these beats. And he writes quick, and he wrote to all these beats. And he wrote to like 13 songs or something like that. Mm-hmm. And it kind of just came out of nowhere. Like that happened within like maybe 2 months, and we were like, let's just put this out.
Yeah.
And so then we did, and yeah, people seem to like a lot of it. And I really enjoyed making it, and I like that project. And as far as like that exclusivity between the artist and the producer, I think it's cool. It's like something that's gone on, since music has been around. Whether it's hip hop or any other genre. With the physics, we don't even really necessarily do that. Like usually I'll do like 80 to 90% of the beats on the physics album, but we'll go out and fish for other beats too. Mainly because I don't make a lot of beats. I need to make more beats, and I don't make a lot. And plus, I feel like I'm in competition. We're trying to with other producers that are submitting us beats. I'm trying to like make the best shit possible.
Right.
It's not about my ego. Like, oh, I need to be on every song. You know what I'm saying? It's about I'm trying to compete against these other guys that are submitting beats. And if my beat wins and we make the better song, then let's use that song. But if this other guy, whoever it is, submitted a beat and we made a tight song to it, then he's gonna win, you know what I'm saying? And then I'm not exclusively the producer anymore, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I'm fine with that, because at the end of the day, it's about for me and for us, for me and Thig, the physics. Our thing is it's about putting out the best product possible. We just want to make good music.
A lot of people talk about loving the process. People talk about hating the process, but loving the product.
Right.
And I mean, I get it 1,000%. Is it like one of those situations?
Yeah,
or do you ever feel that way about the music?
Sometimes, I mean, especially when it comes to like just motivating yourself to start something, like to start a beat or start editing for a video or whatever it is that you do. I just feel like, for me, sometimes it's like, getting up and being like, I'm not gonna chill and do this right now. I'm gonna go make a beat. Like dedicating your time exclusively. Yeah. So sometimes it can be hard, but the process is fun. Sometimes, like staying up all night for hours working on something, and then when you get it right, that feels really dope. It's a great fulfilling thing. But when you get it wrong, that's a really hard. You listen to it the next day, I'm like, what the fuck? Like that's
right. Yeah. Well, I don't know if I have any more questions for you, bro.
Cool. I thought you were gonna ask me about GMOs for some reason, because when we first were tweeting, we were talking about GMOs, and then you were like, "Yo, we should do an interview," and then I was like, "Oh shit, I wonder if he's gonna ask me about GMOs."
Nah, man. But I appreciate you and your time, bro. Thank you.
Man. Thank you.
You got a pretty busy schedule.
Well, I appreciate you thinking of me, man. And
of course, bro.
And interviewing me, man.
I fuck with you. Like I said, I don't interview people I'm not a fan of.
Thanks, man.
You know what I mean?
Appreciate it.
Like real talk. Like if I'm not a fan of you, bro, I have people ask me, "Can you interview me?"
Well, I appreciate it, man. I'm not good with compliments that good.